Today I am going to talk about the tombs of the pyramid builders. And as this topic is extensive, so I am going to talk about it in more than one video. As you see, the workers used to move the stones, they used to bring the stones from Aswan and Tura and the other district of Egypt and dragging it and then making ramps around the pyramid. It was very difficult work anyway, and many workers used to share in this national project. Over here, some other workers preparing the blocks to make it regular. Some Egyptologists used to say the builders of the pyramid maybe came from Atlantis, maybe from another continent, but this is not true. This is a general plan showing the pyramids of Giza and around it the workmen, village and settlement, and some of the other places. This is the first tomb which was discovered by an American girl which was passing this way by her horse. We felt in her horse, and this is cleared part of mud bricks, and the chief of the guards told Dr. Hawass, and then he sent one of the Egyptologists, Mr. Mansour Braik, to clear and to see what is doing there. And then by accident he discovered the first wall of the first tomb which belonged to the chief of workers, and around it some smaller graves or tombs belonged to the assistant of the chief of workers, because they gave permission to their assistant, the poor workmen, to bury their tombs around their big one, like the kings when they gave permission to their high official to build their tombs around their pyramids, like Job, Sankefren and the other kings, hoping to reuse them or to resurrect altogether in the afterlife, as they consider their kings like God. Over here we see the different designs of the graves, squared, rectangular, domed, as those people came from different places of Egypt. And for this photo, we see three statues belong to the owner of a small tomb and his wife, and the three statues belong to his wife also, grinding something, wearing her short wig and colored in some parts. Three burial shafts, and the shafts over here were built of mud bricks and limestone, and their depths in between 2 or 3 meters, maybe it stretched to 10 or more meters. At the end or at the bottom of the burial shaft, we see the entrance which leads to the burial place or the burial chamber. If we remove the block of the entrance, we see skeleton or more behind inside the burial chamber. For the skeleton, most of the skeletons in fetal position, like the baby in his mother's belly, face to east to be with the direction of the sun rising, new life, and the head referred to the afterwards or the world of the dead, referred to the west, and their measures around 180 centimeters, not very tall, like some Egyptologists used to say, or some people used to say, that the lenses of the skeletons of the workers maybe more than 2 meters or more. One of the jars, what we call it beer jar, this is very important because the beer and wine were important drinks for the pharaohs or for the workers and chief of workers. One of the jars also very fine quality, what we call it maydum, maybe maydum jar, maybe it was used for drinking. A dish or some of the dishes we call them maydum jars or maydum dishes because they were red and polishing, very fine. When it was discovered, it was broken and then we restored it. And besides this dish, we discovered plates, small plates or very small plates and cups in small size, hundreds of plates and cups like this were discovered in the tomb, symbolic one or votive one, and they were, most of the tomb in ancient Egypt used to contain such jars. The pharaohs or the workers used to make tools from flint, some knives and polishing stone, a hammer, as the flint was very hard material. They used it for making the knives and the other tools, and the tools over here in between, or the tools in general in between few centimeters and maybe reach to half meter or 50 centimeters. I think that they used the tools also to form the stela or the statues. Some of the workers are going to discover a new tomb. They are carrying the sand, and their chief of workers was watching them. Two designs of the mastabas or of the tomb, one domed and the other one squared, containing two niches, the niches representing the false doors, and in front of the grave, what we call it opening court. This is a small one, but it looked like the big one. Reserve head. As we know, in the Old Kingdom around 2600 BC, it was not allowed for the poor workers to make or to erect big statues. Instead, they used to make reserve head and put it inside the tomb to give it the chance, or to give the chance to the reserve head to recognize its owner, I mean the skeleton or the owner of the tomb. And me right here explaining to a Japanese group how to dig, how to discover a new tomb, how to measure a skeleton. In this photo, I am recording a new tomb which belonged to one of the chief of workers. He was the chief of the bakers. Waiting for you in the other video to continue talking about the tomb of the pyramid builders.